So what you basically saw was the moment that Angel Lynn and her family's life changed forever. Now, undeniably, these two young men had made the decision that day to grab Angel off of the road and load her into a van. The van was then speeding and she was ejected from that van, causing catastrophic brain injuries that, well, like I say, this is a life sentence for these. It would go to court and it would subsequently see Rocco Sansom receiving a sentence that he's likely to escape from in a few weeks' time, albeit there has been an appeal accepted due to the leniency of the charges and sentences. So this may change, but at the moment, prior to this decision being made and the sentences actually being reviewed, we're looking at what has actually happened to this point. Now, Shay Boskill, the boyfriend, he got a sentence that would mean that he would serve around 3.5 years. So when you look at that, you look at life sentence for an entire family and a young girl's entire life destroyed, and you look at a sentence of around 18 months, a year, 3.5 years for the person who carried it out. And there just seems to be a huge imbalance of justice there, doesn't it? But look, the law is the law. And sometimes there are intricacies that mean that they cannot hit these people with the full force of that law, because there is area for interpretation. For instance, they don't know 100% whether she was thrown from the van or she jumped from the van. But, and this is a big but, a lot of things can happen after an event that can then paint a bigger picture of what these people were truly like and what they actually believed they would be able to do when they got her in the van. And I bring your attention now to the fact that, look, ever since this happened, we look at Che Boskill's family. Now, Che Boskill's family have, throughout this situation, his mother specifically, has lied to the courts, she's lied to police, and she has been shot down hugely by the judge presiding over the case because of just the sheer volume of lies that she made to protect her son. And don't get me wrong, you think to yourself, look, this is a mother, a son, this unconditional love perhaps. But look, unconditional love, and when you are fighting the system, I get. But this is what I don't get. If that is what you were doing, and you are a mum protecting her son from the law in your eyes, and you're thinking, well, maybe he didn't push this girl, you know, and this, I get it. But why would you then, and I'm talking to the mother of Che Boskill, why would you then be complicit to making sure that Angel's family are then attacked and scared after they're already suffering at the hands of your son? Now, I was privy to the online conversation that was being had, where Che Boskill's mum admitted to retaliation from where, quite rightfully, Angel's family had spoken about what had happened, about Rocco, and showed pictures of him. You've got to understand the actions of these two men destroyed a family. Now, I can get that you want to protect your son from the law, but what I don't get is your mentality towards people who are suffering. Because that shows nature. It shows what Che was living around. It showed the mentality of his family and friends. It shows the mentality of his mother, that person who would raise him and nurture him. And I have to ask that if your mentality is to attack openly and be open about it, so it's not even behind closed doors, but the arrogance to do it on a media platform for everybody to see and be brazen enough to feel that you're rightly doing so, does question the mindset of your son the day he loaded Angel into that van. And I will say this, with what I now know has happened after the event, which shows the mentality, I would not be against feeling that Angel was indeed thrown from that van. And if she was thrown from that van, that is attempted murder. That is not kidnap. That is not a piss-poor sentence that already shifts the balance of justice hugely in your benefit. So I don't know why you then feel the need to attack this person's family. Because at the moment you've won. Because you have given a life sentence and received a long holiday paid for by the taxpayer. But you still want to rub salt in the wounds. Who am I, though? Who am I? But I must admit that with what I know, I do feel that the government needs to understand that it's cases like this that there are huge miscarriages of justice. And in this case, I believe there was a huge miscarriage of justice. This weren't just a random kidnap off the street by two delinquent young men. This was a strategically planned kidnap by young men who come from backgrounds of coercive natured people who are willing to threaten and scare and openly have the arrogance to feel that they have the right to do it. And I believe Angel was thrown from that van with that same arrogance.